Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu and a reluctant Michael Holmes. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I'd be sitting in this damn traffic on this curve talking to myself. Speaking of curves, but before I get to that, it's kind of funny that the Washington sports fans around here, they're kind of like Charlie Brown. Because they always think they're going to kick that field goal, yet somehow, some way, Lucy always pulls that ball away. Here it is, the Washington Wizards, Game 7, they've lost again. And it doesn't matter what sports team it is, the Capitals, it seems like every year they're the hottest team going into playoffs, yet to fail early every year. Washington Nationals, red hot, on fire, boom, lose it in the wild card. And of course, the Redskins, the off-season champions that they always are. You know, they're always having so much promise, yet Lucy keeps pulling that football away from them. But anyway, as I'm sitting here on this big curve, off-ramp, here in DC traffic, it reminded me about football. See, in football, you've got to be ahead of the curve. And you're probably saying, what are you talking about? No, think about it. Think about when the Miami Dolphins came out with the Wildcat offense. It was unstoppable. They were ahead of the curve. They tried something new and teams didn't know what to do with it at first. Then everybody started doing the Wildcat, and as you know, the Wildcat pretty much is dead. The pistol offense, another great example of that. Washington came out with the San Francisco and the Saints. Excuse me, not the Saints, Seattle. And that first year, it was unbelievable. It made RG3, Rookie of the Year. Colin Kaepernick got to the Super Bowl. But, again, they were ahead of the curve. And everybody started trying to do some form of the pistol. Now, it's gone. Well, one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys offense has been so good is because the offense philosophy got ahead of the curve again. See, what happened with the NFL with changing the rules against the defensive backs and things, because they know that chicks dig the deep ball. That offense puts fans in the stands. They made it to the point where a defensive back couldn't even look at a wide receiver without getting a penalty. So teams geared up for the deep ball because they knew one of three things would happen. Either I'm going to complete a deep pass, or I'm going to get a penalty, or I'm going to get an unnecessary roughness call on the quarterback. Either way, I'm getting a first down and the ball's going downfield. So defenses reacted by getting quicker, smaller, more athletic defensive linemen to rush the passer. Because they knew defensive backs can only do so much. We have got to get to the quarterback and stop those deep passes. So we've seen the evolution of smaller defensive linemen. Guys that are 260, 270, some of them even 250 because they're fast and they can get to the quarterback. Well, the Dallas Cowboys got ahead of the curve. They got big offensive linemen that can grind out the ball. And what you'll notice is if you look back at the Dallas Cowboys, it seemed like a lot of their games, they started off behind. They got behind against San Francisco and they had to have the comeback against Pittsburgh and things like that. But it seems like the fourth quarter belongs to the Dallas Cowboys offense. Green Bay in the playoffs started off slow, but they made the comeback. And the reason behind that is the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, those big maulers out there are pounding on these defensive linemen that are under 300 pounds. And by the fourth quarter, they're just worn out physically and can't use that speed anymore. Now it's the size and build against each other. And if you've got a Tyron Smith versus a 270 or 260 pound defensive end, and you're running the ball right at him, who do you think's going to win that battle? Dallas Cowboys are ahead of the curve. And it's that way in free agency too. Because it's not the team that signs that guy who's already that made player. How often do you see teams that sign a whole bunch of free agents that go to the Super Bowl and win? The only one I can think of was Denver, but Denver had the basis already there. They needed a DeMarcus Ware and a Peyton Manning. It's the teams that find the guys that become the big name players and let them go. New England is that team. And that's why every year they're always winning, because they're ahead of the curve at finding talent. They're not signing guys that are, going for that big payday in free agency. They're the team that's letting that guy go and get paid in free agency, because I've got a young guy here that I'm not paying that much because he's on a rookie contract to become that guy that'll get paid elsewhere. That's why you'll see them trade, a Pro Bowl player to get more draft picks. That's what New England does. And that's why they are always good. They're not kicking back after the Super Bowl. They're out there still trying to improve your team. Because in the NFL, if you're not improving, you're getting worse. Speaking of worse, I don't know how much worse this traffic can get. And I got to tell you, it's ridiculous, because there's the Easy Pass that's right up here that is escalating. And it looks like today, to go all of 8 miles is at $22.30, Michael? To go 8 miles and save 10 minutes, they're charging $22.30. And it seems like every month the price continues to go up. I'm not sure what's going on in this world these days, but as always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe B Sports Report. And be sure to check out I keep saying my old website, cowboyjoeboo.com. If you want to get your shot glasses, you can order them right there. So keep spreading the mojo, and hopefully you're having an easier time getting to work than I am.